Imagine a city built for 1 million people where no one lives. The streets are perfectly paved. The shopping malls are gleaming. The apartment towers rise 40 stories into the sky. And yet silence. No children playing. No traffic. No life. This isn't a post-apocalyptic film. This is China right now. And the question that should terrify every economist on Earth is this: what happens when the world's second-largest economy built its entire future on cities that nobody wanted? For 30 years, China pulled off the greatest economic miracle in human history. 500 million people lifted out of poverty. Cities built in years, not decades. GDP growth that made Western economists rub their eyes in disbelief. But underneath that miracle was a bet. A massive, audacious, almost reckless bet. The bet was simple: build it, and they will come. Local governments borrowed billions, developers borrowed billions more, and together they constructed entire cities from scratch in deserts, on coastlines, in the middle of nowhere. By 2020, China had enough empty apartments to house the entire population of France, Germany, and the UK combined. Let that sink in. To understand how this happened, you need to understand one thing about China's economy. Land is power. Local governments in China cannot raise money the way Western governments do. They can't easily issue bonds. They can't raise income taxes. But they can sell land. And developers would pay extraordinary prices for that land because they believed property values would only ever go up. It was a perfect loop. Government sells land. Developer borrows money from banks. Developer builds apartments. Buyers purchase apartments not to live in them, but as investments. Because in China, property wasn't just shelter. Property was the savings account, the retirement plan, the status symbol, the everything. Chinese households poured 70% of their wealth into real estate. 70%. Compare that to American households, who invest around 30%. Now imagine what happens when that asset starts to crack. Developers needed to keep building to keep cash flowing. Banks needed to keep lending to keep developers solvent. Governments needed to keep selling land to fund local services. And buyers needed to keep buying to believe their investment was safe. This wasn't an economy, it was a treadmill, and the speed kept increasing. The name that changed everything is Evergrande. At its peak, Evergrande was the most valuable real estate company on Earth. It operated in over 280 cities. It employed nearly 200,000 people directly, and it had more than 1.4 million unfinished apartments paid for in full by buyers who trusted the company to deliver. Then in 2021, the Chinese government did something no one expected. They pulled the brake. A new policy called 3 Red Lines placed strict limits on how much debt developers could carry. Almost overnight, the money stopped flowing. Evergrande couldn't pay its suppliers, couldn't pay its contractors. Construction on thousands of sites froze, and buyers who had handed over their life savings for apartments that didn't yet exist watched in horror. Some of them had been paying mortgages for years on homes that were still concrete skeletons. They stopped paying. Not because they couldn't afford to, but because they refused to pay for something that might never be built. This was called the Mortgage Boycott, and it spread. By mid-2022, over 300 projects across 90 cities had buyers refusing to pay. Banks panicked, developers collapsed, and the treadmill finally stopped. The fallout wasn't just financial, it was psychological. An entire generation of Chinese citizens had been raised to believe one truth above all others: property always goes up. That truth died in 2021. Property prices in major Chinese cities fell for the first time in decades, but here's what made it uniquely devastating. These weren't speculative investors losing money on side bets. These were families who had saved for decades, families who had borrowed from relatives, families who had skipped vacations, driven old cars, eaten simple meals, all to put money into an apartment. And now, that apartment was worth less than they paid. Or worse, it didn't exist at all. The ghost cities took on a new meaning. They weren't just empty. They were monuments to broken promises. Meanwhile, local governments who had depended on land sales for up to 40% of their revenue were suddenly broke. Schools went underfunded. Infrastructure projects stalled. Some cities couldn't pay civil servants on time. The ripple effects went global. Australia, which had exported billions in iron ore and coal to fuel China's construction boom, felt the slowdown immediately. Brazil's commodity exports dropped. German industrial output fell. Because when China stops building, the whole world feels the echo. And then there's the demographic time bomb hiding underneath all of this. China's birth rate has been falling for years. By 2050, China's population is projected to shrink significantly, which means demand for housing already oversupplied will only fall further. Those ghost cities may never fill up, not because people can't afford to move there, but because there won't be enough people. The developers built for a China that was growing forever, and forever ended sooner than anyone expected. There's an old saying in economics: markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. China's ghost cities are the physical proof of that truth. They are the world's most expensive lesson in what happens when belief becomes policy. When an entire society decides that something can only go up and builds its entire future on that assumption. The cities are still there. Empty towers catching wind, empty malls echoing with nothing. And somewhere inside those towers, there are apartments with keys that have never been turned, bought by people who believed. The unsettling truth is this: China is not alone. Every country that treats housing as an investment rather than a home is running the same experiment. China just got the results first. Is your country building its own ghost city and just hasn't noticed yet? Tell me in the comments.